How does someone fail at following up with a guest on a show like this?
Well, I think it's all comes I mean, I don't so you've got something on me here because I've never done a show, a podcast like this where I've done multiple things. You have a very interesting and awesome format.
Fail for you.
For me, I guess it would just be a matter of research, I suppose, right? Like if somebody comes in and you're like, "Wait a minute, was it like did we I mean, you're a football player, right? Is that what we talked about? You know what I'm saying?
To like
Like
have no memory of the what you discussed before.
and you ask them the same questions, but not to follow up because you forgot that you asked them the first time.
Hmm.
And I mean, it wouldn't be bad to have them repeat certain things, but I think that also I feel like it has to grow off of the first one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It
I
has
kind of feel like with the follow up, with the first one, we did Phil Fails at content creation,
Mhm.
and then we did a really deep dive with who you are, your childhood, the things that
Absolutely.
made you you. You know, from going into kind of psych wards and all kind of the things that you're fighting, being,
Mhm.
coming up in martial arts, all of those things, the things that defined you, and the way that you explored all of that through movies.
Mhm.
And we went deep with John Moore.
Mhm.
This time, we won't do that again. I have all that imprinted. I have like a John Spottswood Moore imprint, house of John in my
You've read the
brain.
wiki.
And so now we go from there to developing, I think, a relationship
Absolutely.
between the two of us. And
Absolutely,
that's like
definitely.
it happens on
It
display.
happens. Yes, that's right. We live in public. That's awesome.
Because we haven't really hung out since that interview. I've called you a handful of times and been like, let's talk. And you're a busy
A
man.
lot of that is me, and trust me, and I promise you, in 6 months' time, I'm gonna be the most available person for all my endeavors in the world. It's this final crunch with this effing movie
Yeah.
that is just the thing where it's just like, from this day to this day, everything is just so regimented, you
Say the
know?
name of the movie.
When We Were Live.
It is a movie about Austin Public.
It's a movie well, yeah, so it's interesting because I always call it ACTV because it was ACTV for about 30 years. Almost, or maybe about 25
Austin
years.
Public is a rebrand.
It's changed name. I guess you could say rebrand. It's changed names over time. It's always been the same, like, it's always been the same entity. That's not changing. And, for the last 30 something years, it's 34 years, it's also been the same building, hasn't changed.
Mhm.
So it's literally just, like, for example, it's no longer Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's literally called
KFC.
KFC, and
S
KFC stands for nothing now.
so
It's just the same thing.
ACTV stand for Austin
Community television,
Community
which you
Television.
can understand in our current age why they would wanna change that, and they slowly did. In the late '90s, it was Austin Community Access Center because they were starting to branch out into, like, internet stuff,
Mhm.
and then it was, Channel Austin for a while, it was called Pact for a while, and I think Austin Public is the best thing you can do. That way, the name lends itself to, like, all these different avenues of distribution, not
Yeah.
just cable channel, whatever.
When We Were Live,
When We Were Live.
and its release date tentatively is set for
Well, the thing is, though, it's interesting with the film world. The whole thing is, well, so our finish date that we'd like to, and I have said this on many shows over the years, is our tentative thing that we'd like to be done with it or getting very close by like August or so. But that doesn't mean that's when it's released because what you do is you finish your film and then there's kind of a waiting game with festivals where August is pretty much the down and dirty submission period.
so then you submit this film to a bunch of different
And then
festivals.
you go, "Da, da, 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 doo, doo, doo," and just twiddle your
Twiddle your
thumb.
thumbs to see which one you get into.
Yeah, and it's with ours, it's really good. Like, there's South by we'd like to do. I mean, another big one that I love, and I don't even know if the finished product's gonna be a fit for them, but I adore the concept of Fantastic Fest. I think it's awesome. The Alamo Drafthouse's, film festival.
Isn't the Alamo Drafthouse selling?
So they're not selling like, they're not going under as an entity. I think they're getting rid of a bunch of their franchises in
A
other
couple theaters.
I think so, which, I mean, no offense to Staten Island. I love Wu-Tang Clan, but, like, I don't understand. Like, the Alamo Drafthouse just seems like such a Texas thing to me that, like, it's weird for me to think about going to Staten Island and going to an Alamo Drafthouse
I
or
didn't know they had an Alamo
they do.
Drafthouse.
Brooklyn, Oh my god, if you can go onto the website, you can see it's so many different places.
They franchised it.
They franchise I think a lot of those franchises I think that what they're doing is they're shutting down a bunch of franchises so they can still keep, like, Fantastic Fest and, their Neon, I believe, is their distribution thing for actual films. I think that they wanna hang on to those
Yeah.
instead, yeah.
So first question, how to fail at follow-ups. The answer that I heard was maybe not recalling or not, you
Yeah.
said research, not really tying a through line from the original interview to the second one. So we're not developing anything. We're just kind of trotting over, the same path and the same
Yeah.
material as opposed to adding new material, adding new information.
There's no crescendo, there's no rising action if you just rehash the
Yeah.
same stuff,
Mm,
unless there's something building on that. It's that 3-act structure, or that you want.
3-act structure. Okay, so we're gonna definitely have new material in this one, and we're gonna do some acts. We're gonna do some
Yes.
3 acts.